Welcome to the Run-In on BT Sport. It is Saturday, the 10th of April, which means the whole nation is thinking, oh, just a couple more days till I can get that much needed haircut, or go for a drink or a meal with some friends, or maybe hit the gym and shift a few of those lockdown pounds. But for WWE fans, it means one thing: WrestleMania. Yes, all of our favourite cliches are about to get rolled out. The grandest stage of them all, the showcase of the Immortals, and WrestleMania moment after WrestleMania moment. And it's all coming over 2 nights from the Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. On the show today, we'll be talking to WWE Champion Bobby Lashley, as well as Drew McIntyre, ahead of their match on night 1, as well as speaking to Bianca Belair before her showdown with Sasha Banks. We'll also catch up with Cesaro, Raquel Gonzalez, and more. And of course, it goes without saying that I won't be looking ahead at any of this without the Run-In regulars, the brilliant Run-In regulars, the brilliantly dressed WrestleMania garms. Trent, Jinny, how are you both?
I'm good. You know what? I have to say, we've pulled out all the stops regarding our outfits. That we are WrestleMania ready.
I like that you're saying we, as I sit here in jeans and trainers, definitely not in a suit.
Well, you'd probably be, if you were there, you'd be running around interviewing and doing your thing.
Of course. I need to be in active wear.
Active wear is key.
So it's finally the night of WrestleMania. You wait all year for this. I'm going to come to you quickly with your the match you're looking forward to most this weekend.
Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. Hands down, that's going to be incredible.
Therefore, I have to pick a different one, which isn't that.
You don't, Trent. You can pick the same.
No, I shall. I am going to go for the Universal Championship Triple Threat match. That is where anything can happen. So I'm very excited about that. If you want my money, it's on Edge.
And we were talking about this the other day when we did the show on Tuesday. Who is the person you want to come out first? So the first music the fans hear, the first wrestler back in front of fans, the first superstar in front of that audience.
Who gets that first pop?
You know what? I'm actually quite torn. So, I want Drew because I think, over the year, he's done so well, no crowd, etc. How much, he has done is just incredible. Also, he's an amazing comeback story as well. But then on the other hand, I kind of want it to be Sasha Banks as well, because she too, over the last year has done so much. So I'm torn between the two of them.
Yeah, good point. Sasha Banks, I feel she might main event night 1.
Yeah.
So therefore, we might not hear her music till almost very last. I think Drew deserves it. I really do. Winning the Royal Rumble, turning around, pointing at the sign, knowing full well you're going to be there at the main event of WrestleMania, and then the world comes crashing down. And he carried himself, as you say, so well. Maybe Vince McMahon.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe that No Chance drops as the first music played over the speakers for the fans.
That would be good.
And he can kind of welcome the fans back to wrestling. I think that'd be pretty cool. So.
On Tuesday's episode, we saw a few of the WWE Superstars' favourite WrestleMania moments, and we've caught up with a few more of them this week to find out theirs.
The first one that jumps to mind is The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 25. And I love that match so much, the build so much, the equity of both superstars at that stage of their career. They didn't even need a good story. It just been Undertaker at that stage versus Shawn Michaels, but they had the great story, then they had the phenomenal match. Just everything was perfect about it.
Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, when everyone's story has been building for their entire careers and you watch it play out in a ring, just that emotion is what we should strive to do as a business every single week, month, and WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans, and that was when we debuted the next day, but that was the first time I was actually there experiencing it, and that was when Brock Lesnar ended the streak. Brock wins, and I'm the one person, I stand up, I'm like, yeah! And everyone is just silent, devastated and silent, and I'm literally jumping up and down. All the fans are looking at me like they want to murder me, and I'm like I'm destined to be a bad guy.
It's Bret versus Owen WrestleMania 10, period. That match was just, I was a huge fan, obviously, at that time, and still am. But I was always an Owen Hart fan, and him beating Bret, I was like, yeah. And then Bret win the title, I'm like, no, but Owen should be a champ because he beat him. It was brilliant. I thought it was really well done.
2017 when Undertaker laid his coat and his hat down in the ring in Orlando, Florida, because that was my first WrestleMania to see live. But that moment, for some reason, I think it was the feeling of being there live, of feeling the audience, of seeing it happen in front of me. I really felt a lot of emotion. I started crying a little bit, but don't tell anyone that I cry. I don't cry. But yes, I would have to say that moment.
So Raquel Gonzalez never cries, but there were plenty of tears at the end of Royal Rumble when Bianca Belair booked her ticket to WrestleMania. So we'll start with that match first. Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's title. We caught up with Bianca last week to see how she was doing ahead of the big one.
I have zero complaints. I'm extremely happy winning the Royal Rumble match, and then like in that moment realizing, oh yeah, you just won the Royal Rumble match, but you're also going to WrestleMania. So and having like all these different feelings just hit me all at once. And now, you know, being able to choose Sasha Banks to go after and face at WrestleMania and possibly becoming the SmackDown Women's Champion on the greatest stage of them all. It's an amazing feeling, and not just going to WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is the goal when you're in WWE, but also being able to create history at WrestleMania, being the first two Black females to have a title match. It's just, I have no complaints. I just feel blessed and I'm super happy. I think that's the thing that's great about these type of moments is like, it's not just about you, it becomes about everyone else, and everyone feels like they're a part of it. And seeing all the fans online, like everybody was pretty much like, yes, we're for this. So it really just, it made me smile and made my heart smile, and it made me feel like, I'm not in this by myself, and, having people behind you and cheering for you always gives you extra motivation. So it's just crazy to think that I never saw myself being a wrestler, but now that I am a WWE superstar, I can't imagine myself doing anything other than this. This was something that I didn't realize was my dream until it became my reality. And it's like, this is what I've been wanting and looking for. And I always say that I didn't find wrestling found me. And I'm just going out to WrestleMania. And like I said, it's not just about me, it's about everyone. It's representing so much, but I'm also going out there because I am the EST and I'm here and this is where I belong.
So way back on the first episode of the Run-In, if you can remember all those 3 months where we were sat in the living room.
Such a long time ago.
Such a long time ago. And so much has happened in my living room. This is the one that we predicted. This is the one we wanted. We all said, oh, I'd love Bianca Belair to win and face Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. And now it's happening. Trent, I know we mentioned the last show and you mentioned a lot of the time, WrestleMania for you is like the ultimate support the goodie against the baddie, and Bianca is that situation, right? Yeah, like you've nailed it. For me, that is the whole showcase of the Immortals, and no matter how many like tongue-in-cheek references you use and how many cool little cliches there are, this is the point where all of it comes to a culmination. It's the good versus the bad. It's who's the best. And I think this is it. I think this is the one where Bianca Belair has, arguably maybe even the best women's match, maybe even the best match of the weekend or the night. I just want them to go all out, and they're going to. So I think I'm going to be thoroughly entertained when I watch Bianca Belair's first ever title victory.
God, first ever. You know what? I agree with you.
And so young.
Yeah, so young. And you know what? I agree. I think she's going to be going home with the title. But I have to also say, Sasha always has some amazing ring gear for pay-per-views, and so does Bianca. I know it's nothing to do with wrestling, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be wearing. But this match is just going to blow the roof off the place. It's going to be absolutely incredible. But Bianca's walking out with the title. I'm thinking the entrances. Obviously, we've got so used to kind of the Thunderdome stuff, and now we're going to get these amazing WrestleMania entrances. Sasha's had a few big ones before. Do you think Bianca has the stamina to skip for the entire length of the Raymond James Stadium? There's been some leaked photos and some leaked footage and stuff, so I've had a little bit of a peek at it myself, and that is some aisleway, that is some entranceway. Skipping all the way down on that angle, maybe a bit of precipitation may have fallen through. It's risky business. You don't want to go over when you're entering to WrestleMania, especially when it's your first huge WrestleMania kind of like singles championship match. But yeah, I'm excited about the entrances. I tell you what, I am excited about seeing Bobby Lashley's in an arena.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually,
He's got, you know, he is the Lord of lightning and hellfire and, you know, all the other stuff.
All of that,
augmented
all
reality.
that stuff.
Yeah, there's some serious goings on when he comes out. So I'd like to see how, you know, how that plays out and how they're going to make that kind of have that live event feel as well. So, but yeah, WrestleMania is very exciting.
Do you reckon Snoop Doggy Dogg's make an appearance for Sasha's one?
You know what? I'm going to say yes. This is the first one, like WrestleMania since 2019 with a crowd. Right. Everyone is going to go all out. And like, I know like it's a long runway, I want to say, a long walkway to the ring. I think there's going to be moments where people are like doing their thing, but they're also going to just take everything all in. But Snoop is definitely going to be there. I think so. That's my exclusive.
Sasha's Jinny's massive Run-In exclusive. She thinks Snoop Dogg might be there. Sasha's kind of owed a big WrestleMania performance. She's obviously had big matches before, but she's not had I don't know if she's had a singles match before. And I think she might have lost every single time.
Yeah, I think she's
competed at WrestleMania.
Over 3,
yeah,
I think something like that.
She's kind of owed that big moment.
That is huge, actually. That's a great talking point.
Yeah, you know what? Like Sasha, every time she goes into the ring, she gives it her all. Like she is ruthless. You know, she is the boss. So I think knowing that she's been in WrestleMania before and hasn't had a victory, that's obviously going to be playing on her mind.
It's going to give her the edge.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's going to want to make sure she keeps that title.
She won't.
That's Trent's exclusive.
I'm going to be screaming at the television, and that's no offence to Sasha Banks, but I'm going to be screaming at the television. That you know, I really want this, you know, this fairy tale story to be capped off.
Yeah.
But either way, we're going to get treated to an absolute classic.
Absolutely.
Well, Trent referenced there the Lord of Thunder and Lightning, I believe it was, with Bobby Lashley. We'll be talking about his match against Drew McIntyre after the break. Welcome back to the Run-In on BT Sport, where we're talking about the first night of action at this year's WrestleMania. And while you load up on energy drinks and fast food options throughout the night, why don't you have a look at the chat we had with WWE Champion Bobby Lashley and his challenger Drew McIntyre earlier in the week ahead of their match tonight.
Oh, we're going to go crazy. We're going to go crazy. We're going to lose it. And I don't think there's a better opponent for me for that kind of match, because I know what Drew's about. Drew is ready to give his entire heart and soul and body to every match that he's in. And being in WrestleMania and being the main event in WrestleMania, I know he's ready to give it all. And for me, if I don't make it past this match, I had a great career and I achieved my goal. So I'm giving it everything I have too. So like he's in the same place that I am right now. So this is a grudge match that's going to be very, very interesting.
We faced each other for almost a year ago, it must be. And since then, you know, I've kind of made my mark at the top of the card. I am holding the title majority of the year, kind of proving myself as you know, the champion and face of Raw. And Lashley at the same time has quietly been rising up the card himself. I mean, it wasn't quietly to me. I was watching him the whole time.
I think he solidified himself as one of the greatest WWE champions in history. And I have to give credit where credit's due, because of course I want to smash his head. And I want to make sure that he knows who the toughest son of a bitch is in the WWE, which is me. But when Drew won that title last year by beating Brock in the way that he beat Brock, and then he ran throughout the entire year, and I think he killed it. And I think no one is going to look at him and say that he didn't do his job. But that was his time.
Lashley was operating at another level, the best he ever has his entire career. At the same time, so it's Drew McIntyre. So this match is going to be a lot of fun at WrestleMania. For the fans, we're going to beat the crap out of each other.
Everybody wants to steal the show. And me and Drew, that's a hard one to beat.
There we go, the big one. I don't think either of them will lie, and I think they are going to beat the stuffing out of each other, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. It's two incredibly large people with an incredibly large prize on the line. The points that Bobby Lashley made there are very true, you know, and same with Drew. They're both at the absolute peak of their game. You know, and that's what you want at WrestleMania. That's what you want for World Championship matches. So, yeah, I think we're in for another real treat there.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like with the past weeks building up to WrestleMania, like all the animosity they've had between each other, all the messages that they've been sending to each other. I mean, Drew.
This whole Hurt Business thing as well.
Yeah.
Do we think that's going to play into a little bit of Bobby Lashley's kind of mindset on the day? Are him and, MVP seeing truly eye to eye?
I think they are seeing eye to
Yeah.
eye. And I think that MVP wants Bobby to win because I think it was Drew who said, "Are you living through Lashley with what he's doing?" So I think for a WrestleMania moment, they're definitely seeing eye to eye. But with what's happened recently with the Hurt Business, obviously that's going to be weighing on Bobby's mind. But you need to go into WrestleMania with that focus. You need to be so focused. And I think Drew is. I think Bobby's will get a little bit more focused when, you walk out, you see the crowd, etc. And, this is my
Thunder
moment.
and lightning rains down upon him.
Exactly. And all that jazz as well. So, like...
and all that jazz.
All that jazz, everything.
If he did that as his entrance...
But yeah, the big surprise is Bobby's doing show tunes.
Yeah, he's just going to pop out.
With a massive smile on his face as well.
Crash. A little bit of rain behind him as well. Let's just go all out.
But they
Pops
are...
out the umbrella. Sorry, carry on. I'm getting carried away. It's WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania week.
I know.
How can you not get carried away?
It's an exciting time, but they're definitely going to put everything out there. They're gonna beat the crap out of each other.
When a guy like Bobby Lashley is at peak level and peak performance, walking in there with the championship is a huge advantage. It really is.
Yeah, exactly. And also he said that he waited 16 years to be given this opportunity. Since he was 10 years old.
Because there's no way he's older than 26.
Yeah.
Let's face facts.
Flawless skincare regime.
He's got very good skincare.
Started wrestling for the WWE when he was 8, maybe 9, something like that.
His skincare routine is really good. But for someone who has wanted this for 16 years, there is no way that you are not going to give it your all and just let someone walk over you. Hell no. Especially, like you said, Bobby is at the peak of his game.
Yeah.
He's an incredible athlete. It's going to be a great match. But I do see Lashley retaining, me personally.
I've got to disagree.
No.
No, you're wrong, Jinny.
Jinny exclusive.
Trent exclusive. Drew McIntyre takes home the gold.
I'd like him to. I'd love him to.
He's taking it.
But no, it's
and
still
you saw at the end of
Lashley's
that VT
time.
then, remember, obviously, because when he won the title last year at WrestleMania, there was no fans in the building, and he reached out to every single fan at home through that camera.
That was powerful.
Playing on my heartstrings there,
Yeah.
Drew. Bring it home again, this time with the crowd there. You deserve it.
I want you to, Drew. Bring it home.
It was quite validating when we spoke to Mark Henry on Tuesday to know that it's not just us. So we spend about 10 minutes of every run-in show talking about how much we love Drew. It was quite validating to know that he does as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he really does deserve it. And, tying into what we were saying at the top of the show, I'd love that first music to be him.
It would be
Ram that
amazing,
sword
yeah.
into the ground.
What's he going to be thinking when he's standing there?
I think I might cry. For him.
Just thinking about it.
Yeah. I think I might. There's definitely, there'll be a tear-jerking moment, I'm not going to lie.
You know what? I can't even I can't actually even imagine what it would be like walking out in front of fans. Because we haven't had them.
I'll probably cry here.
Yeah, I'll probably cry here.
I'll probably cry here.
But having fans back at WrestleMania, it's gonna be amazing. It really is, and it's gonna be overwhelming for a lot of people. That's what I mean by about the entrances
Mainly
and
Trent.
stuff. Yeah, mainly Trent. Mainly Trent's gonna cry for every entrance.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean by they're gonna take everything all in, and they should. This is WrestleMania.
And we've got 2 days.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Let's everyone have that entrance that they all deserve as well. So that's another little bonus. I feel we're going to be really treated to some incredible entrances this year.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, talking about taking your time, I think there's a match that we all want to see last the entire 2 days with Seth Rollins and Cesaro, two unbelievable in-ring technicians. And we caught up with Cesaro yesterday to see how he is feeling ahead of that.
I always look at I have the plaque here of the winning the first ever Honor the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So that was definitely a moment, but I want to carve out another one. And my first big singles match at WrestleMania, man, speechless. I saw the posters of me and Rollins, and it's just there I am, big on the poster. It's right by the WrestleMania store. Man, there's a lot of pressure. I read this morning, and full credit to whoever wrote it. But somebody said we're gonna burn the house down or go down swinging, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a win either way, right? So it's timing, right? You have to be in the right place at the right time, being the right person, and then just knock it out of the park. It's kind of like a penalty shootout, right? Like you prepare yourself, and then you just have to step up and score. And on SmackDown especially, it's just getting that chance, and then delivering week after week after week. And I feel my body of work overnight success. It doesn't happen overnight. Like that match at WrestleMania didn't happen overnight. It was 10 years in the making, and I feel people can feel that and people can see that, and people have been following me for a long time, and that makes it more special because we've been through this together. And I feel that's why it's so special to me, and that's why the pressure is on so much.
So similar to Sasha, Cesaro hasn't had a singles match at WrestleMania, and now we finally get to see one. And who better to have it with than someone like Seth Rollins?
Oh, you know what? This match, it could potentially steal the weekend,
Very
honestly,
much so.
because these two are they're also at the top of their game. Because everything that Seth's done since he's come back, he has antagonized the hell out of Cesaro. So this potentially could be his moment where he could pay him back for everything he's done to him.
Very much so. We say it a lot, I suppose. It's WrestleMania week. All the culmination of all the feuds. There's a lot of matches that can steal the show out there. But knowing, and being able to be a fan and watching these guys come from, all their days pre WWE, you know what I mean, and watching the standard that they performed at there, getting the chance for those two guys to walk out there at WrestleMania in front of a live crowd is going to be fantastic. And it really is a chance for them, to kind of show the world what what live audiences have been missing. So. I don't know, man. Top to bottom, the card's incredible. Who do I think is going to win? Cesaro.
I say Cesaro as well.
I think he is.
Yeah, and you know what? I hope he does because he deserves it so much. Every single time he gets in the ring, at NXT UK Takeover as well, that match
Cardiff,
against Ilya, that was absolutely incredible. He knows how to put a person down, and I hope he puts Seth down.
And like you say, actually, it's interesting you bring that up. From every level of his kind of performance, whether it's NXT UK in Cardiff in front of 4,000, WrestleMania, Andre the Giant Battle Royals, now he's fighting Seth Rollins, someone he's known for years and years and years on the biggest stage of them all. You always get the absolute best of Cesaro, so I'm looking forward to this one a lot.
Now, very quickly, a moment for Seth's suits. Trent, I know you're a connoisseur of
Thank you for noticing.
A lively garment.
I really appreciate that, thank you.
What do we think of these?
Your honest opinion.
Honest opinion. Okay. The middle one, we do love a touch of salmon.
Absolutely.
We do, don't we? Hey? We love a touch of salmon. The one on the right, I like it. It's got a New Day feel to it. That one on the right there. It feels earthy, cloudy. I like it. I like the colour. I like the texture.
Cloudy.
That's what I look for.
Earth. It looks like I'm looking at the earth. I like it. The one on the left, let's cut that out. Let's destroy it. Let's burn it.
Burn it down.
Let's not even give it to people. Yeah, let's not even give it to someone who really wants it. Let's just set it on fire. Never think about it again. And in the words of Seth Rollins, as you said, burn it down to the ground. The other two, though, wonderful. Love a salmon. Love this cloudy look on the right-hand side. That one, wow. I'm almost speechless. It's trash.
All right, well, while Trent goes outside to torch some suits, enjoy this ad break. Welcome back to the Run-In, and now I think we should talk about the rest of the matches on night one, but this is only an hour show. We've got to get through 14 matches or something here. So we're going to go through speed round. Here we go.
Quick comments or no comments?
Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz.
Bad Bunny.
And John Morris.
Sorry, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, they're winning.
Damian Priest and Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
I fully agree.
Was it Jinny's cell?
Yeah, I fully agree.
Did you like The Miz and Morrison's
I do.
rap
It's
song?
very, very funny.
We've got the Women's Tag Championship qualifier, the Tag Team Turmoil match. Who do you think's going to win that?
Riot Squad.
Riot Squad. Ode a big win as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, God. You know what? I'm going to go with Riot Squad as well.
Then we have Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match.
Braun Strowman.
Shane McMahon.
Oh!
It's Shane McMahon and a high thing.
Shane
Yes.
McMahon and a high
course.
thing.
No.
Never normally successful. However, this time, I believe he's going to be successful.
No,
You know, he will. No,
Yeah, he's
it's
gonna.
his
You know what?
time.
He's gonna do some
It's his
insane
time.
things because he doesn't really care about his body, as we've seen from past matches.
Mm.
But Braun Strowman is definitely gonna beat Shane McMahon. Look what he's done to him over the past few weeks.
I don't think Braun's going to get the victory, but he may get the moral victory. Next match.
Next match, The New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos.
New Day.
New Day, retain.
Well, let's see if Kofi and Woods themselves agree with you.
If you want to play in a soccer league downtown, a rec league, you got to register. You can't just show up and be like, oh, I'm in the league now. No, you have to first register. You have to be cool with everybody that's around. You have to understand how the officiating works. You have to understand what kind of garb you need to wear in order to be legally participating in this event. So there's all these things that we, being the tag team that we are, as established as we are, we know that process. Other teams that are established, they know that process. AJ and Omos is coming out and saying they're a team. They haven't gone through the process.
Somehow, like, this is, he tries to bypass it as if you can just come in and announce yourself as a team. That's not the way it works. Almost, he's tall and everything, not much experience, but he's really tall. He doesn't really have a whole lot of experience. I mean, he's really 8 feet tall, but as far as the experience level, he doesn't have that. And he's looking at AJ to guide him, He's sitting under AJ's tree of knowledge and he's dropping him rotten fruit. You know what I'm saying? And Almost don't know any better. He don't know any better. He's just eating it. Oh, this doesn't taste very good. But AJ, he's a professional, man. This is a heck of a tree. This is a real old tree. It's been around for a long time. This must be good fruit. Oh, it doesn't taste very good, but I'm going to eat it because it's AJ's fruit. AJ's misguiding this man. He's misguiding this man. Now what? I bet when the fine comes, AJ's gonna pass it on to Omos. Well, you gotta pay this because I'm the vet. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's an abuse of power.
Our tree is constantly bearing ripe fruit.
Right.
And if they don't want to eat that, if Omos would rather eat this rotten AJ fruit,
disgusting AJ,
that's
fruit.
on him.
It's nasty, just decrepit, just horrible AJ fruit, rotten.
That was so good.
So I think
That is brilliant.
I don't see many
That is
WrestleMania
brilliant.
rivals being based off of like administrative beefs or
I
rotten
don't
fruit.
know. This is unbelievable. Fruit-based diss.
Fruit and
good.
admin. Fruit and
good.
admin.
I like
beef.
it. Oh God, let's just make that match a whole new level.
I'm really looking forward
Is
to
the
it.
apple going to play into the entrance? We've seen some fantastic entrances from New Day.
Yeah.
What if they come out of a gigantic rolling apple all the way down the... No.
Rotten apples. You know how they throw out the pancakes?
They're throwing rotten apples
Yeah.
at children. Good idea. What goodies they are. Come
No,
on,
not at
Jinny,
the
you're
children. At
such a
AJ.
baddie.
At AJ.
Such a baddie.
Maybe at the audience as
Okay,
well.
maybe.
So that's night one covered. Now, Jinny, this is a moment that I think you've been looking forward to for months. We're going to move into night two. And I mean, we've got the red lights
Okay.
ready. So we're going to talk about The Fiend and, of course, Randy Orton.
Absolutely. Match of the weekend for me.
Obviously.
Match of the weekend.
Obviously.
We've got a new kind of crispy Fiend as well.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the new,
We have.
We've got the new post-fire Fiend. We've not seen it in sort of full light
In
yet.
the full flesh.
Yeah.
It looks so scary though
Right,
when he came
exactly.
back, and I said he was coming back. I did, and I said that this wasn't the end of it. It looks so scary.
Yeah, it's gross,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, I think it's going to be really cool to be able to see it in normal light. If we do get to see it in normal light, that is.
I don't think so. Look at their match a couple of years ago at WrestleMania.
And there was a
Like,
Hell in
they
a Cell one as well. Do you remember the red
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell?
Oh yeah, the red one, and they had the maggots as well at WrestleMania.
Oh, that was
It's definitely
Randy
not
Orton
gonna,
as well?
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be.
There's so
normal
much
light.
history in this match.
Yeah, so much history.
Who are you picking, Jinny?
I'm going to have to think about this if I'm absolutely honest.
Please, take your time.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I'm going
Yeah.
with Randy Orton.
Yeah, shock
Yeah,
horror.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going for the
Randy
RKO.
for the win.
I'm going to go with The Fiend.
Ooh.
Because if you actually look back at kind of like WrestleMania win-loss records, his needs a win in the win column. It really does. Bray Wyatt, I think he's an incredible performer. I think the characters that he's portrayed, and now he's at this level now where he's the melted, scorched version of the Fiend. Like, this has got to be where he kind of breaks through that mold and breaks that kind of like losing streak that he's got, and just goes out there and just takes the place of maybe someone like The Undertaker or that kind of level. That's where I see, You know, I see Bray Wyatt and his characters going from there. I think The Fiend is ready to reach those heady heights, and this is the WrestleMania where he stamps The Fiend all over Randy Orton.
All right, let's talk about a few of the other Night 2 matches in a similar way that we did before.
Okay.
A bit of a shotgun round. But I'm going to start with a match that I've been looking forward to for years, actually. I think it's about 20 years in the making. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
At WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania.
You know what? We touched on it talking about Cesaro and Rollins, but
Yeah.
this is the one.
Yeah.
These guys have been fighting each other from gymnasiums in Canada all the way here now to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The grandest stage of them all. What an incredible story, you know.
Oh, amazing,
I think as
yeah.
you know, correct me if I'm speaking for you, but I feel like as wrestlers that were coming up, you know, and kind of reaching to get to the WWE, those are the kind of things that you dream of.
Yeah, you do.
You know,
yeah.
fighting your mates and wrestling the guys that you came up with and you went to the training schools with, or you're rolling around in the back garden or whatever. You know, imagine having the ability to fast forward 20 years and now be at WrestleMania, walking out and fighting each other there.
Yeah, you've got to appreciate the history between them, because I think it was Kevin Owens who was saying recently that they lived near each other and they would always get booked on shows together, so they would travel together, and they formed a real strong friendship. Like, they have had some amazing rivals in the past, but with this new Sami Zayn as well, Kevin said that he wants to do everything he can to bring back that old Sami Zayn, and I think he's going to walk out victorious. And I think with Kevin's help, I think we're going to see the old Sami Zayn as well.
That's it. It's WrestleMania. Emotion. The emotions are...
Yeah.
This could be a crier. I'm not going to lie. Could be another Trent Seven crier.
One of Trent's 7 criers.
Yeah.
7 matches of the 14 across the weekend. Guaranteed.
It's a 50% tier ratio. Don't worry about it. We'll get through this.
Everyone's the winner in that one. I was going to ask for winners, but look, Trent's tear ducts are the winners for that one.
Emotion will be wrestling will be the winner. Sports entertainment will be the winner.
Riddle and Sheamus.
Riddle.
I'm going to say Riddle. I say retain.
Yeah, 100%.
Big E and Apollo Crews in the first ever Nigerian drum match. Who's going to win, and what is a Nigerian drum match going to be?
Jinny, please. Fill us in.
A Jinny exclusive.
Okay.
Via the internet.
just totting these up now.
And, so Apollo actually said that a Nigerian drum match is basically anything goes. Like, the beating is going to be so loud that you'll be able to hear it over the drums. So it's pretty much like a no DQ, do whatever you want to make sure you get the victory. But I see Big E walking out victorious of this, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I see Big E walking out victorious as
Yeah.
well. I think he deserves a nice big WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
But on that same kind of WrestleMania moment, wonderful night for Apollo Crews. He should go out there and absolutely enjoy this to its max. He deserves to be there.
And then Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler against the winners of the tag team turmoil match.
You know what? So I said that the Riot Squad are going to win the turmoil match.
Right.
I think they're also going to take the titles as well. So if you look at the turmoil match, they're the only actual solid team that have been in.
Definitely the longest running team.
The longest running team. So they know each other. They've got great chemistry. They work so well together. This is going to be their moment, 100%. Shayna and I have done a fantastic job, but I think the Riot Squad have got way more heart in this match, and I see them picking up the win. I do.
I'm going to agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it's a great little story. It's a nice little short story to have over the 2 days as well. I think it would be perfect if the 2 girls from the Riot Squad picked up the victory.
Now, before we head to the break, let's take a quick look to the screen here, because BT put up a couple of murals for WrestleMania season up in London and in Glasgow. They're going to be up until Monday. So tomorrow, if you want to go for a little walk, if you live near enough, go and get a photo with them. Maybe cheers Drew if he's won. Take a drink and cheers the big man. And send any of those photos to @BT Sport WWE, and we'll retweet some of the best ones. Now look at them.
This is so cool. No, you know what?
Cool.
I think I'm going to definitely check it out before they come down. It's so cool.
Nice little outdoor activity as well for these times. Dust off the cobwebs from the late night on Saturday.
Yeah.
Go for a walk, get these photos.
But you know what? It just like the little things like this just show how much of a big deal WrestleMania is. And it just seeing it just makes you so much more excited.
We are going to take a short break, but when we're back, we'll be talking about Rhea Ripley versus Asuka and the Universal title match. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to the final part of the run-in, and now we're going to start talking about the Raw Women's title match between Rhea Ripley and Asuka. Rhea Ripley last year had that huge match against Charlotte. Now she's going in there with one of the most fearsome competitors in the history of the division. How excited are you for that one?
Last year was Rhea's first WrestleMania moment, and she didn't get to do it in front of a crowd. This year, she's able to perform in front of a crowd. Asuka, absolutely fantastic wrestler, years of experience. She deserves to be where she is. She puts she's just so incredible every time she gets in the ring. She just puts on amazing performances. It's gonna be a great match, and I actually see Rhea winning. I do.
I've got to go with you there as well.
Yeah.
I'd quite like to see a Rhea Ripley walk out of there with the title as well. So,
absolutely,
yeah. Am I right in thinking that's the first NXT UK alumni to go to WrestleMania?
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Was it the same when she was, with you guys in NXT UK? Can you tell when someone walks into a room that they're just, that person is going to be on WrestleMania?
Strangely enough, when the first kind of bunch of us got signed to the WWE UK kind of contracts, we went over, I think it was just before or just after the Royal Rumble of 2019. And we did a really good solid stint there in the Performance Centre, kind of taking it all in. And I remember her being there. It may not have been that exact time, but I remember being in the Performance Centre for a long stint. I remember seeing Rhea Ripley and just thinking, it's just a matter of time. Just so talented, so agile, so tall, so big, so strong, so capable, and one of the
looks
things,
completely different to everyone.
Oh,
as well.
yeah. And I mean, she looks completely different to the way she did now as well. And I think we've got a wonderful story on our hands with this one as well. I'm going to be very excited about watching the vignette and the promo package for it. Because, like I say, Rhea Ripley's come so far, and I think it'd be great for her to be that first NXT UK alumni to walk out there at WrestleMania.
Does it make it into the Trent's tiers list?
Yeah. we could be going for more than 50% now. The tier ratio is going through the roof. But this one, yeah, to see someone who's worked so hard at the same level, and just knocking down doors everywhere she goes, and now I feel like, she's nowhere. Sorry, how old is she?
24,
22, 23, I think.
She's early 20s.
She's early 20s, man. We've got 10, 15 years, maybe more, of the Nightmare Rhea Ripley, and the wrestling fans are in for a treat for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
So someone that knows Rhea very, very well is, of course, the new NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez, who, despite the fact they tried to, beat each other with every single item inside a building just a few months ago, she still had this to say about her old rival.
I'm so happy. I'm so excited to watch the match with Rhea Ripley and Asuka, because knowing both of them and where they've come from, I don't think they've ever really stepped into a ring together either. So this is going to be an epic opportunity for both of them. It's a great opportunity for Rhea, and knowing that that's pretty much her Raw debut, is her entering into a title spot with Asuka, who is the longest reigning Raw champion right now, at WrestleMania, the grandest stage in the world. That is huge, and it definitely gives me a lot of hope and a lot of just feeling something to look forward to, knowing that could be me one day, as I could have a huge spot in a big giant pay-per-view in front of thousands and thousands of fans, and that's exactly what I'm looking forward to, is the opportunity to work in front of the NXT universe live, and also to represent NXT the way Rhea Ripley is. I have a lot of respect for Rhea. She has really set the bar really high for the bigger women in this industry. And even after our last woman standing match, so much respect for her. She goes hard every single time. Everything she does is 110%. And it's something that a lot of us look up to.
All right then, just the one match left. For that Universal title, Roman Reigns.
This exact one.
That exact one that Trent is going to fly over in his personal helicopter. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan, the triple threat match, the main event. This kind of has everything. All three of the guys in this match have this incredible story. Roman being the biggest face in the company. He's been running SmackDown. We call him Roman Corleone, the head of the table. Daniel Bryan, you know, the ultimate fans' favourite for a number of years, and particularly in the wrestling community, just like the most revered man ever. And then Edge with this incredible comeback story that no one would ever have expected. This main event kind of has everything for everyone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, just going back on what you said about Edge as well, like, this is an amazing comeback story. Like, anyone, like any wrestler, if you have like a small injury, you always feel like it's a bit of a setback and it breaks your heart. But to be told that you can no longer wrestle, I can't even imagine the emotions that he was going through hearing that. And for him now to come back and to be able to perform at WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania.
After getting injured again though, right?
Yeah, exactly. But also, like, the same goes for Daniel Bryan too. Like, this is a great comeback story for him because he was told he would no longer be able to wrestle, and he worked so hard because wrestling was his life. Like you mentioned before, like in a few episodes before, that, you know, he done everything on the independents. His work rate was amazing. He's inspired so many guys. And there's two amazing comeback stories, but you've also got one amazing transformation in Roman Corleone as well. So the dynamic here is absolutely amazing. Each of them have got like so much to prove because you're in there with a legend, you're in there with a future legend, two future legends, I would say. You know, you want to be walking out victorious. My prediction, I see it being Edge.
You know, everything that's on the line, it, for me, epitomises WrestleMania and what WrestleMania means to me. It's three intertwining stories of such incredible variance as well. And correct me if I'm wrong, the date tomorrow is the
11th
of April, which was the exact date 10 years ago, which Edge retired.
Oh.
From that day when we all sat there and we all, obviously I cried, but we all cried watching Edge retire in the middle of the ring because, like you said, the doctors and the specialists and whatever told him this was it. You cannot do this anymore. We fast forward 10 years. We have a Royal Rumble return last year. We have a Royal Rumble win this year. And now Edge will stand in the middle of the ring as the main event of WrestleMania, the exact day, 10 years on from being told he couldn't do it anymore. He's walking away as Universal Champion, I guarantee.
Yeah, 100%.
There is nothing else more that I can even think about that would fire you up for a professional wrestling match, for a performance, for a fight than that. This for me is arguably could go down in history as the greatest story ever told. And I really, 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 really want to see him walk out as Universal Champion and arguably put the cherry on the top of the greatest story ever told.
The fans are going to be going mad. It's going to be split in the crowd and everyone's going to want someone different. It's just the noise after this year of not having crowd there. The noise in that match is going to be unbelievable.
Like, I'd like to think or say something along the lines of, you know, I hope the fans save a little bit for, you know, the last match of the second day, but you're not going to have to, man. Yeah. That is wrestling. That is WWE. That is storytelling. That is the reason why WrestleMania even exists. It's the reason why I'm a wrestler, is that level of emotion, that much on the line. Absolutely everything will go into this match for all three guys, but yeah, what a story. You know, this is going to be a crier.
Yeah.
Oh my word, I am going to be in bits.
I think it's going to be a cry for everyone. I think even if you're watching at home or if you're in the audience, like, you're going to be taken on such an emotional roller coaster throughout this match. You really are. You know, whether you're a Roman fan, whether you're a Daniel Bryan fan or an Edge fan, like, if if our prediction comes true, you know, seeing Edge stand at WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania back with fans, holding that title in his hands. Like you said, 10 years to the date from being, from having to retire, retire from an awful injury,
your lifetime
his life, his passion,
yeah.
because wrestling is your life. You know, it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's everything you want. It's literally running through your veins. To be able to see him hold that title at WrestleMania, absolutely incredible, and so deserved, because he is literally one of the best superstars to ever step foot in a ring.
It's a guaranteed crier, like Trent said.
Yeah.
All three of them have had incredible comebacks.
Yeah.
All three of them, there was a time where we thought, well, we might never see him again, and now we've got this, and in front of the fans, the biggest comeback of all, the fans.
Yeah. It's the greatest. In my opinion, I think it may be the greatest story in professional wrestling that's ever going to be told. So tomorrow, get the tissues at the ready, because someone's going to be sobbing as those fireworks go off.
On that note, that is all we have time for on the WrestleMania edition of the Run-In. It's a sad time, of course, because it's the end of the Run-In, but it does mean we're just a couple of hours away from the showcase of the Immortals, the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania moment after WrestleMania moment, which you, of course, can watch on BT Sport Box Office. Go to bt.com/sport box office for more information on that. My thanks, as always.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, wrestling. Thank you, BT Sport. The next 2 days are going to be emotional, to say the least.
It's going to be an amazing weekend. Looking forward to it so much.
And of course, we're in the studio now. The Run-In is officially big time, which means we've got plenty more Run-In fun to come over the coming months, including, in fact, on Monday on BT Sport's digital channels, a WrestleMania reaction at 5 p.m. Join us then. We'll all be back behind the laptops again with bags behind our eyes, and Trent will 100% be in leisure wear. But you can join us for that. And until then, enjoy both nights of WrestleMania. It's been a long year of waiting for WrestleMania. It's been a long year in general. You've earned it. Enjoy it. And we'll see you on Monday.